what's going on. So I wanted to jump back to this. This is a bit ago, but I wanted to jump back and watch this with you guys because this is kind of crazy, and this just validates the point, okay, that they are trying to steal floor crossers to get the election because, or not election, to get the majority because they won't win a majority through an election.
Figure that out, and I'm sure I'll demonstrate that in the coming minutes.
You called yourself a politician, though. You didn't used
Well,
to do that.
I am now a politician. I have to admit, I am prime minister, so
Yeah.
I am a politician, but I'm still a pragmatist.
It would be easier for you, though, if you had a majority. And you're inching towards that.
Well,
You are. You're one away now, because you have managed to
Look at this fucking smirk he has. Like,
had a
he
majority.
knows how sassy it
And
was
you're inching towards that.
for these elitists
Well,
to talk
we're-
about it.
You are.
outright.
You're one
Look at their smirks and shit. They're so elitist. They're just like, yeah, get it.
away now, because you have managed to lure a couple of Conservative MPs to.
Yes, I like that term. Lure away. Okay, so we got to that. I wanted to show you guys that. Now, I wanted to show you this. There's a few things here. It's to align. They more or less build on each other. Okay, so just as like a rule of thumb, something to really take a look, take a note on all this. So this is a couple years back, I imagine. Okay, so no, this is from the beginning of the year. Oh, and this is the Fraser Institute, very reputable. They've been doing their job for 50 years. Jake Fuss and Grady Monero were the ones who posted and made this one. So if you have any criticisms, take it up with them. Monday, after weeks of turmoil and speculation, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told Canadians he's resigning the Liberal Party. So we remember that happened last year, right? And we know why. It's because of this fact, really, more than anything. The deficit spending he was constantly doing. There will be much talk about Justin Trudeau's legacy, but the modern Trudeau era was distinguished, among other things, by unprecedented levels of government spending. The numbers don't lie. For example, from 2018 to 2023, Justin Trudeau recorded the six highest levels, of spending on a per person basis after adjusting for inflation in Canadian history, after excluding emergency spending during the pandemic. For context, that means the Trudeau government spent more per person during the 6 years than the federal government spent during the Great Depression. Spent more during those 6 years than the federal government spent during the Great Depression. Both wars and height of global financial crisis in 2008 and 9. Unsurprisingly, the Trudeau government was unable to balance the budget. Oh, what do you know? It doesn't balance its fucking self. After being elected in 2015, Trudeau promised to balance the budget by 2019, then ran 9 consecutive deficits, including the astonishing $6.1 billion deficit for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. The largest deficit outside of any year. Largest deficit of any year outside of COVID. The result, historically high levels of government debt compared to previous prime ministers. From 2020 to 2023, the government racked up the 4th highest years of federal debt per person, inflation adjusted, in Canadian history. Compared to 2014-2015, the last year under Harper, the federal debt per person had increased by 15,000 roughly. Let's just say 15,000 to make it slightly easier. Well, proportion of this debt accumulation took place in the pandemic. A sizable chunk of federal COVID-related spending was wasteful. Exactly. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of it, but that's the long story short of it right there. And then I wanted to roll you over to this, guys. This is where it gets really, truly quite insane. Okay, so look at this freaking thing. This thing is constantly going up. Look at how fast this is going up. This is the single thousands, okay? The single thousands Canadians are being taxed is rolling constantly. The tens of thousands fairly constantly. Look at this. Per hour, we got $4.5 million per hour. The Canadian federal debt, man. Like, there's no way to joke about this shit. It's brutal. Look at this. My singular individual share is 36,000 or 30,600. 700 basically, because of the 90. So, you know what? That's almost a full year's worth of work being taken from me through taxes. That's what that is. That's roughly Canadians minimum wage are paid about $30,000 a year. 32, I think. This is insane. This is so fucking insane. And I want to leave off by going to my ex and going to Scott Anderson's and just reiterating the fact that they are so weak that they must get floor crossers to get the majority. They have no choice. Right here, no intention of crossing the floor today, tomorrow, or ever. I'm gonna reiterate this fact, man, you know? I'm really trying to manipulate that shit. Show integrity, conservatives. You have got this. The battle is almost over. We've almost won.